Here's the 0-2 pitch. Kirk bounces one up the middle. He gets to the ground. Over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles. Keep on fighting till the end.
日本の3選手による記念撮影です。
I can honestly say what you guys accomplished this year is unprecedented. Starting in Tokyo, all the stuff that we had to go through. Guys that weren't here, that came later and pitched huge innings, played huge innings. No one ever wavered, and we asked each other to believe in each other. And you guys made it easy for me to believe in you guys. And you can go through the whole postseason, and every single person in this room stepped up and had their moment. And so it's just not about right now. I want you guys to take this with you because this is about life. And I coach because I love you guys. But I want you guys to take this message and what we accomplished going forward. But what you guys did is so special. Hey, and I want to give the stage right now to one person. And we all know who it is. And so my last point is this guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why? Not because of the talent, because every little thing matters. Being a great teammate, how he works, how he's not afraid to compete. And like today, Miguel Rojas, what I say, hey, what I say is the game honors you. Today, the game honored Miggy.
Great teammate! Great teammate!
Sign the contract! And what Yamamoto did will never be done again, so. Okay, hey, this is this guy's last time in a clubhouse as an active player. And so, the floor is yours, Clayton.
Thanks, Doc. It's an absolute honor to be in this clubhouse with you guys. I love every single one of you. I can't imagine a better way to go out than to pop bottles with this group of guys. Hey, we're back to back!
This morning with tears in my eyes because of baseball. Not just because Game 3 of the World Series last night went almost 7 hours and 18 innings, though that was definitely part of it. It's because it took the whole night to sink in what I had just experienced. For anyone who thinks baseball might not be political, brace yourselves, because everything is political, and sometimes the things you don't think are political end up being more political than anything that happens in DC. What happened last night in the World Series game between the Dodgers from Los Angeles, the city that Trump hates more than maybe anywhere else in the country, and the Toronto Blue Jays representing a country that's been punished more than any other country by Trump's tariffs, that took place in Los Angeles, one of the most diverse cities in the world. What happened in this almost 7-hour game of baseball was a reminder of what this country should be. A dream or a memory from an alternate universe untainted by malignant right-wing hate. And the game was absolute magic. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player who's ever played, greater than Babe Ruth, and it's not close. He's also a Japanese immigrant who doesn't speak English, who hits home runs, steals bases, bats with an elite batting average, who can also pitch full 9-inning games over 100 miles an hour. In this single game, he set record after record, with extra base hits, with walks, with home runs, and by reaching base every time he stepped up to the plate in 9 plate appearances. On the other side, one of the heroes for the Blue Jays is a guy named Alejandro Kirk, Mexican immigrant born in Tijuana. Kirk is the slowest runner in all of baseball, but he's also one of the best hitters and catchers. And it was his 3-run home run earlier in the game that led them into extra innings in the first place. Kirk was signed to the Blue Jays roster in 2016 from the Mexican Baseball League for $7,500. After spending his entire career with the Blue Jays, he just earned his way to a $58 million contract earlier this year. We also saw the greatest relief pitcher duel in World Series history between Eric Lauer and Will Klein, both of whom pitched more than they'd ever pitched in any single game before, and neither of whom gave up a single run in 4 innings. Just as they got to the 18th inning and both teams had run out of pitchers, the Dodgers were preparing to do the unthinkable, which was to pull up Yoshi Yamamoto, starting pitcher who only 2 nights prior had thrown over 100 pitches in a complete game. They were going to let him pitch as a reliever even though his arm should have been on ice, because he volunteered himself in order to save Shohei Ohtani's arm for Game 4. Just as the game was about to go sideways, Freddie Freeman steps up to the plate. Freeman is a 36-year-old, 6'5" farm boy-looking guy who spent the first 12 years of his career playing for the Braves in the deep blue hellscape of Atlanta before moving to war-torn Los Angeles to play for the Dodgers, where just last year he hit the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history. He steps up to the plate in the bottom of the 18th inning, finds himself with a full count of 3 balls and 2 strikes, and on the next pitch, a 406-foot no-doubter walk-off home run. The symbolism is unavoidable. A guy named Free Man winning a World Series game for the City of Angels and Immigrants that featured 19 pitchers and 29 batters from 21 different states and 7 different countries. This is why it's called the Great American Pastime, and this is why I woke up in tears. I woke up remembering why I love baseball. And at the same time, baseball helped me remember what it should feel like to be an American.
Can you confirm that I just kissed your sneakers? This is true. She's on camera saying she'll do the radio. I am. We're doing it. Future senator of the great state of I'm gonna miss Ted Cruz so much. He's so likable. Oh my God.
Do you think that your tweets and your name calling are turning people off?
No, I think I wouldn't be here if I didn't have social media.
Well,
but the media is fake. And frankly, if I didn't have social media, I'd have no way of getting out my voice.
Do you know what you told me a long time ago when I asked why you keep saying fake media?
Yeah.
You said to me, I say that because I need to discredit you so that when you say negative things about me, no one will believe you.
I don't have to discredit you.
But that's what you told me.
You've discredited yourself.
You know, I didn't want to have this kind of angry.
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Well, then you brought up a lot of subjects that
Well, I said I'm going to ask you
inappropriately brought
tough
up.
questions.
They were inappropriately brought up right from the beginning. No, your first question was, this is going to be tough questions.
Why?
You don't ask Joe Biden. I saw your interview with Joe, the interview with Joe Biden.
I never did a Joe
Biden. It was
Biden
a joke.
interview.
The interview, 60 Minutes. I see Joe Biden giving softball after softball. I've seen all of his interviews. He's never been asked a question that's hard.
Okay, but forget him for a minute.
No, but you start with me.
You're president. And
Excuse me, Leslie, you started with me. Your first statement was, are you ready for tough questions?
Are you?
That's no way to talk. It's no way to talk.
Leslie, one second.
At this point, one of our producers interrupted to advise about the time remaining in the interview.
I think we have enough of an interview here, Hope. Okay, that's enough. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go meet for 2 seconds, okay? Thanks. I'll see you in a little while. Thanks.
Be careful.
A lie told by the Democrats that they're not trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. It's a lie that is obviously untrue if you just look at the text that they gave us.
I wrote that text, and I know exactly what is in it. And J.D. Vance is outright lying. Federal law already prohibits any undocumented immigrant from receiving any health care benefits. And nowhere does this text anywhere mention illegal immigrants. You can read it for yourself. It is posted on my website. And if you do, here is what you will find. A bill that funds the federal government and healthcare for American families. If Republicans keep refusing to act, people's premiums will more than double next year. Democrats want to lower your costs. Trump and Republicans are refusing to even come to the table. And now they've shut the government down instead of saving your healthcare. And that is the truth.
From here? What's here? What country? Was you born here? This is out of control. Masked men, 2 of them, descending on a woman with no warrant, judicial or administrative, and a barrage of questions for one reason only: she looks Hispanic. This is not law enforcement. This is harassment and prejudice and discrimination dressed up as law enforcement. Not even in the most relaxed interpretation you can give of the recent Supreme Court ruling that says that ICE can detain people based on the color of their skin or their language and their location. A decision, by the way, that will go down in history as one of the most unjust and unfair decisions out of the bench. Not even in the most relaxed and loose interpretation of that can this be justified. And yet she is targeted by Trump's private police because she's brown, because she's Hispanic, because she probably has an accent. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the result of the dehumanization process that this administration has planned and executed. Hispanic now equals undocumented, it equals unlawful, criminal, undesirable. It means targeted, wanted, hunted. And the hunter is an untrained, uneducated, masked man. But saddest of all, he's also cheered on by a segment large enough of this population that should have no place at all in a democratic society.
You are not going to believe this, and honestly, it's going to make you furious, as it did me. You know that $40 billion that Donald Trump sent to Argentina? It wasn't foreign aid. It wasn't a trade deal. It was a bailout for his billionaire buddies. This is corporate colonialism straight up. Follow the money. See, here's what's really happening. Most of Argentina's best farmland isn't owned by the Argentinians, friend. No, it's owned by, you guessed it, American corporations and investors. So when Argentina's economy tanked, the land's value also tanked. So these billionaire investors were about to lose billions. And suddenly, Trump swoops in like their personal banker, handing Argentina $40 billion in U.S. taxpayer money to prop up the peso and, by extension, to prop up the investments of his billionaire buddies. And then, to sweeten the deal, he opens the U.S. markets to Argentine beef. Except, guess what? That beef is being raised on American-owned farms down in Argentina. So now Trump's billionaires' friends make a fortune selling Americans imported beef that they grew on stolen land, more or less, while American farmers here are getting crushed by competition that we paid for. And if that's not corrupt enough, my friend, guess who's been buying up foreclosed farmland right here in the United States of America? J.D. Vance, that's right. So it really makes you wonder, is this about Argentina, or are they building an international food empire, one bailout, one farmland buyout at a time?
See someone tell 8 lies in 32 seconds? It sounds impossible, right? But this guy, he just did it.
What's been accomplished in the last 9.5 months? A couple of things listed here. We passed the historic Working Families Tax Cut, one of the most landmark pieces of legislation ever passed by the U.S. Congress for the benefit of the American people. We slashed taxes for hardworking Americans, geared for the lower and middle class earners who needed that assistance. We cut hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse from government. We solved the border crisis. We are working now to solve the crime crisis in major cities around America. We strengthened Medicaid. We improved healthcare access, and we lowered premiums with our legislation. We put
Unbelievable. Let's go through these one by one, just real quick.
Passed the historic Working Families Tax Cut, one of the most landmark pieces of legislation ever passed by the U.S. Congress for the benefit of the American people.
In fact, the one big, beautiful bill is the most regressive tax bill in American history. Do you know what that means? Your tax rate gets lower as your income gets higher. Yeah, it benefits Americans all right, but only if they're rich or if they're a giant corporation.
Slash taxes for hardworking Americans, geared for the lower and middle class earners who needed that assistance.
Reality is, look how much money you lose if you're on the lower end of the income scale with this tax bill, and look how much you gain if you're on the upper end.
We cut hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse from government.
The real number is closer to $16.3 billion. Johnson says we've solved the border crisis, but they've passed no comprehensive immigration legislation that will actually solve the problems that have not been addressed in 30 years. They're simply terrorizing our communities, getting rid of due process, and arresting U.S. citizens, 170 of them by now. He's also claiming to have solved the crime crisis, but crime has been dropping for years. And on the other hand, Republicans have been killing violence intervention programs, defunding local law enforcement, and he's gutting common sense gun laws that were finally starting to reduce gun violence deaths. But Johnson saves the three biggest whoppers for last.
We strengthened Medicaid.
He says we strengthened Medicaid when the Congressional Budget Office and everybody else who's analyzed the bill says it will knock 10 million people off of Medicaid.
We improved healthcare access.
There are articles like this all over the internet. Rural hospitals will be shutting down. Planned Parenthood will be less accessible and clinics are closing.
We lowered premiums with our legislation.
Republicans literally refuse to extend the ACA premium tax credits, and premiums are going to skyrocket as a result. That's why we're in a government shutdown for almost 30 days now. So you see, I was right. 8 lies in 32 seconds. If he'd had a little bit more time, he could have added, and I really want to see what's in the Epstein files. That, and I care about the deficit, and he would have had a perfect 10. Don't worry, Mike Johnson, there's another press conference for you to lie at tomorrow.
Are we gonna do this? We gonna win? Do we know how to fight? Do we stand for our democracy? Do we stand for what is right? Do we believe in the power of the people? All right then. All right then. So listen, I wanted to just come by to, in particular, thank everyone here, all the folks who have been canvassing, knocking on doors, talking with your friends, talking with your neighbors, talking with your cousins, talking with your play cousins, talking with all the folks about the power of the people, because that's what this is about. It is about reminding folks that we refuse to kneel at the foot of a tyrant. That's not what we do. We stand for the principles upon which our nation was founded. We believe in the Constitution of the United States. We believe in the power of the vote. And we are prepared, when necessary, to fight fire with fire.
But from the very start, there was another story, born of this nation's true revolutionary spirit. A story that says we the people means what it says, that all of us are included, that we are not subjects, we are citizens, defined not by race or religion or gender or sexual orientation, but by our commitment to a common creed and a willingness to accept not just the privileges, but the responsibilities that come with that citizenship. That's what made the American experiment unique. That's what made us special. And through generations of struggle and sacrifice, through the faith of abolitionists and the struggle of suffragists, through a civil war and civil rights protests, through union organizing drives and government reforms and investment in public education, we moved closer to those founding ideals. And in the process, we inspired the world. And that's the story I believe in, Virginia. I believe in an America in which we all deserve equal protection under the law and nobody is above the law. I believe in an America where every child has a chance at a good education and anybody who's willing to work and find a job or start a business and make a decent living. An America where opportunity isn't just reserved for those who were born into privilege or happen to have the right connections. I believe in an America where we don't fear each other, but look out for each other. And if we want that story to continue, if we believe in that better story, we need leaders who believe in it too. We need leaders who will tell the truth and who will take responsibility and tackle hard problems and bring people together instead of tearing them apart. We need leaders who won't serve bosses in Washington or big corporate donors, but instead will serve the people who put them there. Virginia, we need leaders like Abigail Spanberger.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.